Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the 9th episode of Kumo Desu ga Nani ka. And last episode, on the school side of things, we actually got a bit of a flashback, giving us, as the audience, some insight into some of their interactions with each other before the big reincarnation session. And yeah, I mean, nothing too shocking about any of that, really, but still, I kind of appreciate it nonetheless. We got some very important information, Kanata being into dudes, for instance, so very important stuff for sure. Now, on the Kumiko side of things, she's having a bit of a rough time, She's fighting this big, scary creature that's luckily, somewhat injured and tired and whatnot. But still, not exactly an easy fight by any means, and by the end of the episode, it kind of looked like she was about to just die. And because they clearly wanted to, double down on that, really make the audience worried, we had this kind of the same time, well, from our perspective, at the same time, we had Sensei talk about how Wakaba's just dead, I think she said. So a little bit worried about things, but we got to get into it and find out how things are. So let's do that. 3, 2, 1, play. Okay, looks like we're over on the school side. As she's running too. And he does run quite fast. So what is this about? Confronting the brother? Hello? Oni-chan. Gonna go give him a hug. And that's where we cut to the opening. So yeah, I think this is the first time we've seen them in the same scene. I know we've seen them talk about him a lot. We've seen the brother like in the cave taking out spiders, but I don't think you've actually seen them together. So that's cool. I was hoping for a brotherly hug there. Maybe we'll get that after the opening. Hopefully we eventually transition over to see if Kumiko's still alive. That'd be nice. Not that I'm impatient or anything. I'll... There you go. Bite into that planet. Swallow its delicious filling. Just keep weaving your spider away. Solid life advice there. Yeah, there's still a couple things I'm really curious about in this opening. Definitely one of the best openings of the season, I would say. So, we're back. And are we gonna get it here? And we got shoulder touching, I guess that's close enough. You too. Yes, sure. The Empire. I believe that. I think the idea of war has been brought up once or twice before in the show. I'm counting on you. That's that's my pet slash friend slash classmate. They grow up so fast. Yeah, she is quite a bit bigger, isn't she? It's really clear when she's next to someone. Okay. I see. That certainly is interesting. Yeah, that's certainly curious. 15 years ago. I bet. Okay, so is this what you meant by the same place? Silk and the dragon egg, okay. I get it now. I wasn't sure if I missed something, but I think I get it now. Can we all just get along? We'll trample them back. Fair enough. Okay. That would be nice, but generally not realistic. But something to strive for sure. Decent amount of brotherly shoulder touching. So yeah, okay, now we're back here. See how Kumako survives this one. And where did she go? Up there somewhere, apparently. The classic, just dump poison on the enemy. Oh. I guess that does damage. You show him, Kumako. Show him what a spider can do when cornered. Could have been worse. Could have cost you a leg, too. But hopefully that did it. Foo. Phantasm. Okay, we're illusion shenanigans, gotcha. That explains it. Yes, you had me fooled, Kumako, I'll admit. Well, I think I guessed the potential substitution jutsu last week, but... Well, don't you deserve one? Oh, Nia! Well, I don't think it's over yet. I don't think that's quite what happened, Kumako. Gotta love when your alter ego thingies Tsukome you. Well, yeah, we do have that. That's a thing. So our plan is simple, don't get hit. Good thing she's so agile. A second secret weapon? Is second one ignoring? We kind of have an important thing to do right now. This is no time for this. Our life is very much on the line here. Abyss magic. This is starting to sound a bit chuny. Explosion! I almost expected her to say. Oh my god, we just summoned an awesome looking gate. That's pretty cool, Kumiko. You really are full of surprises today. Yeah, as expected. Yeah, he's got to be pretty close to being done. I gotta believe. Man, we gotta end this quickly. Yeah. Let's go bite him. Wow, I think that may have done it. I knew you could do it, Kumiko. I always had faith in you. Yeah, you had to have gotten a lot of XP from that. More text, my old friend. Just keep going up. Dragon Slayer. Oh, that does actually sound pretty bad. Maybe we should go somewhere else. That's easier said than done. I mean, I understand the loop, but the thing's huge. We gotta be pretty tired. We didn't even explain who she is yet, so I can't really agree or disagree. But I mean, we know what just happened. A lot of evil sounding stuff from this protagonist character. Yeah, that's to be expected. Is an enemy approaching? So maybe we should hide behind a rock? A timer. Looks better than my timer. So monologuing is not a free action. So, I mean, what do we do then? Apparently not much, Hello, I am Dragon Slayer Kumiko. What's your name? It's nice to meet you. Would you like to be friends? You wouldn't happen to be one of my classmates, would you? Unable to appraise, man. Maybe he's not gonna try to kill you? Oh yeah, the title has something to do with talking, didn't it? Right. So she can't understand him. I don't think his Nihongo is Jozu enough. And there you go, our title. You know, speaking Japanese more slowly doesn't help someone who doesn't speak it at all. Just so you know. It's not helpful. They probably don't. Okay, that's unexpected. Don't ask me. I'm as confused as you are. Do we have Google Translate as our friend? Wow, that is quite the sight. A very fantasy setting looking character just holding a smartphone. Oh, I mean, what choice do we have? I don't understand a word of this isekai go. The subtitles do not help. Kazama Jaga Gukugiki. Don't drop a smartphone. Have you ever owned one in your life? You don't just do that. Apparently, this person cleared things up. Thank you, mysterious lady. D. Well, does that make you feel better? But cool how we're getting into this now. Because we brought this up a couple episodes ago. Always watching. There you go. That's what I was referring to. Good question. What exactly is your goal? I mean, she sounds nice enough. I mean, kind of like you, Ludo, with the Ranspers. Can't have that. Well, thanks for the help. Well, could have at least left the phone. But apparently she's the only one that gets to amuse herself. But okay, that was quite the the event we had there. It's kind of a lot to take in with that. But it looks like we have an evil council meeting over here, so... And this just gorgeous girl, so... I'm okay with focusing on this now. Oh yeah, her, yeah, she's in the opening. Yeah, this definitely sounds very warlike. Whew. You can request whatever you want. That seems entirely reasonable to me. Sounds like it. Nice to see somebody against it, though. Okay. Uh-huh. No, thank you. Yeah, I'm getting lost in those eyes. I think we skipped a couple corpse. Hey, I'm new here. I don't look to me for answers. Yeah, it seems pretty straightforward to me. Yeah, we're clearly not a monolith over here. Fight, 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 fight! Oh, is she doing something? Some of that demonic control? Okay, those are threads. Maybe they're spider threads. That'd be something, wouldn't it? Yeah, you can see some of that fear in their eyes now. Abyss magic, I mean, they probably don't want that to happen. I think we saw some of that earlier. Okay. So casual about it. Yeah, let's have some more, guys. That's where it's at. That'll be fun. I love her design so much. I really can't overstate that. I want is like a really good look at her full body, but she's at a table, so we didn't get a lot of that. But like everything about her design, I love. Yeah, you could say that. Demon movement. That transition to from red clouds to normal clouds is really cool. And the episode's still going. Oh, the hero. Okay. Yeah, I guess that would happen. Title hero has been acquired. This is important, guys. Be quiet. Well, either there's two or there's one. So, yeah, I mean, if that implies what I think it does, that's, yeah. Jeez. What happened? I don't think we even saw anything that would cause that. I guess it was just off screen. I mean, yeah, the thingy. Who is this geezer? That's our title for next episode. Okay. Well, that was the 9th episode of Kumo Desu ga Nanika, And I feel like there was a lot to take in with this episode. I mean, where do I even start? Okay, well, for one thing, the encounter with Kumiko, luckily she did win the battle, which I figured she would. I figured she'd have something up her sleeve. I was kind of joking last week with the whole shadow, or they keep wanting to call it the shadow clone jutsu when it's more of a substitution. But yeah, she did that, so basically attacking a fake version of her while she was up on the roof all safe-like, right? So she outsmarted that dragon pretty well, and it was a pretty good fight overall, just really down to the wire, just Kumiko barely etching out that victory. But still very impressive, you know, considering the dragon, very difficult opponent for sure. So very impressive. And apparently somebody like sensed what was happening over there and just kind of used his high-level warp magic to just pop it over there, which is a pretty impressive. I'm trying to find where that was in the video because I want to get another good look at him. Oh yeah, she also used some really cool stuff with like the what you call like abyss hellgate kind of magic that looked really cool for sure. And I mean, it didn't even end the fight, but it got us near the end of the fight. Yeah, she wraps him up in the webs. We talk about more like evil stuff, like eye abilities and whatnot, as we've kind of been doing. And we have this very long 15 seconds of her just trying to think of what to do. But unfortunately, as she kind of experienced here, even if your intellect is fast enough to figure things out, your body can't always move fast enough for it to matter. And yeah, we just have a warp gate pop up and a guy come through it. Right? I mean, right off the gate, he looks very powerful. It could just be some of the red of the environment, but yeah, he looks very red in this shot and very almost like dragon-ish armor. Really, like he looks like extremely high level, like end-game raider in an MMO kind of character, right? And I think we see him later in the Evil Council. I think that was him. One of them was him. But yeah, the title of the last episode, well, the title that we saw in the preview of last episode, you know, I can't to speak Isekai Go or whatever, you know, she says that here, and we get to see why that was relevant, because she wants to communicate with this man, but it's just not happening because she speaks Japanese, he speaks Isekai Go. It's probably not actually called that, but that's what we're calling it. So communication not quite happening, but luckily we had a bit of a middleman. You know, our administrator D just kind of casually dropping a smartphone in there, just translation functions, essentially getting to communicate to this man. And I mean, we didn't actually find exactly what she said to him because it was in a language I assume none of us understand. And he just pieced on out after throwing the smartphone back on the ground, as you really shouldn't be doing. But she did cause him to stand down, because he probably could have killed her if he really wanted to. I mean, I have no doubt, especially because she's exhausted from the previous fight. So for sure, we didn't find out too much important about this, I don't think. Just really reaffirming the whole monitoring, watching sort of thing we have going on here. A world that's supposed to be amusing for her. I think she called herself an evil god at some point, right? You know, that's why I enjoy people struggle and suffer so much. Like I said, it reminds me of the god Ludo from the Rance games. You know, the giant whale that made a world just to see people suffer. Like it reminded me a lot of that, for sure. And yeah, I mean, that's good to know, but yeah, not exactly not the best news ever, but you know, it is what it is. At least we have a bit more to go off of now. And pretty much right after that, I mean, I essentially skipped the scene from before, didn't I? The one with the brothers, which I probably should talk about before I get into anything else. We had a nice little reunion with between our two brothers, which was nice for sure. Some brotherly shoulder touching, and we found out about the origin of Faye. You know, the dragon egg from the cave with the Tarakabata's spiders, right? And apparently that was the same place that got the silk for the scarf. So these two things came from the same place, and I guess each one went to a different brother. So that's a pretty cool connection that they have there, for sure. Really cool to get that. And that's also kind of a connection between Faye and Kumiko, I guess, because these two already stood out a lot as being reincarnated as something that wasn't human. And then we have, you know, kind of a connection there where the egg came from a spider location. Like, I don't know how much to read into that, but it's certainly something interesting for sure. And 15 years ago too. That's an interesting number. Like, 15 years ago, the egg and stuff was gotten, so wouldn't that mean Faye is 15? Well, I mean, we don't know when the egg hatched exactly, but one thing I'm confused about, though, is that, you know, everyone presumably was reincarnated at the same time, right? So I don't know. I mean, timeline stuff, I'm not gonna get into much. I'll just confuse myself, but, you know, that's a thing. And yeah, they were talking about war and stuff in this scene, and this, at the time, I didn't know it, but this ended up, unless they're trying to mislead us, this was the last time those two brothers will ever see each other, talk to each other, which is pretty tragic for sure. Like, I'm pretty sure that was the first time we ever saw them actually interact with each other, and for it to be the last time it stings a little bit for sure. And then we had the evil council scene. That's what I'm gonna call it. Much further in the episode, right? And how much did we really learn from this? Obviously, they're planning to make a move, like really get the whole war thing underway, for sure. And I mean, there was some disagreements for sure. I mean, they all kind of fall under the Demon King, because that's how it works. But some people weren't exactly super excited about that, so there's a little bit of fighting. But our Demon King kind of laying on the law with her threads for sure, and eventually got things resolved. And man, just because some really good close-ups of her face, she has kind of a presence to her, doesn't she? On top of just being overall beautiful, like I could definitely see myself falling in line with her as my Lord and Savior. I definitely could see that for sure. But yeah, I mean, one thing I definitely got to talk about with this scene is they seem to be kind of implying, or maybe leaving some hints that Kumiko could be this Demon King character. Because, I mean, for one thing, we have more and more evil kind of stuff, skill-wise, happening with our Spider Girl. You know, we had a bit of a warning from the teacher before about skills and stuff. And I'm pretty sure Kumiko's even used the word Demon King. Well, they say Demon Lord. I usually prefer saying Demon King for Mao. It doesn't really matter. I'm probably just going to keep saying Demon King. Anyway, I'm pretty sure Kumiko has mentioned that a couple times for sure. And, you know, that was already kind of getting me to kind of think about that. And now we have her using threads, which obviously very similar to spider threads as well. There was one other thing. I mean, was the guy she was talking to before about meeting, was that the same guy from the Warp Gate stuff? Because that is the same guy that also was a really big hint on that as well. But I'm not sure if it is or not. But if it is, that's another really big hint for sure. And if this really is what Kumiko ends up becoming at some point, that is a pretty cool development. You know, our main protagonist girl end up becoming the antagonist of the story. So I don't want to just jump to that conclusion, but it does feel like they're at least trying to drop hints to that. It could be false, as always, you know, but it definitely something I'm thinking about for sure. Something that's in my mind, I basically is what I'm trying to say, right? Because we still haven't had Kumiko leave that cave area at all. So who knows what'll happen when she does, you know, what she'll be like when she does, because she has changed a lot through the course of the show, despite not leaving that general area or meeting with anyone except for that one guy in this episode, for sure. And we have this Administrator D talking about suffering and stuff, so anything's possible, for sure. But we'll see. We'll see. Just something I wanted to mention, because more so than any other episode, this one really made me start to think that could be a real possibility. So either way, we got war underway, and we have the brother dead and the younger brother taking up the mantle of hero. And that was a really hard scene to watch. Just imagine finding out about your brother's death in that way. Like, that's not how you'd want to find out, for sure. So, really good episode, for sure. You know, definitely a big one, I would say. Really interested to see where things go from here, for sure. And we'll see. We'll see next time. But until then, bye-bye. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki and Ryan for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.